Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
On A View from the Outside this week, we look at help, H-E-L-P, help, with the view being that with the cries of many Vincentians ringing out, we encourage every Vincentian to listen to these cries for help and to reach out and provide that help. The Oxford Dictionary defines help as to make it easier or possible for someone to do something by offering them one's services or resources. And the Longman Dictionary states that to help is to make it possible or easier for someone to do something by doing part of their work or by giving them something they need. Those definitions tell us that to help someone is to make it easier for that someone to do something, or to make it possible for that someone to do something. And you do that by offering that someone your services or resources, or by giving that someone something they need. This week's topic is provoked by a video which has been circulating extensively on social media. The 1 minute and 25 seconds video shows a young woman who said she is 29 years old and she's making an appeal to the public, to anyone, to everyone, to the world to help her. Her cry for help is for someone to rescue her from her domestic abusive partner. She gave her name as Samara Joseph. However, for the purposes of this program, we will refer to her by her initials, S.J. It is said that S.J. was born in Grenada and that she has been living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines since the age of 9. She, on the video, showed her multiple scars to the world, and she begged to be rescued alive out of what she described as a hellhole. Frighteningly and of grave concern is when S.J. said that she feels like the police are doing nothing to help her, to save her life, and to protect her from whom she said and described as this man. The account of S.J. has again thrown St. Vincent and the Grenadines into the spotlight with regards to domestic violence and the safety of women in the country. It is no secret that over the years, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has attracted headlines internationally and has been branded as a dangerous and unsafe place for women. Surely, the time has come for this situation to be addressed wholesomely. Surely, the time has come for policy measures to be introduced and implemented where those in abusive situations or in situations of abuse can and do get the help which they need, where they can feel safe and where they can feel that they can get protection and that they are indeed protected. The police must be trained and made to do their part. People need to have trust and confidence in the police because clearly from SJ's account, she feels that the police are doing nothing. It is hoped that with St. Vincent and the Grenadines now becoming a member of the UN or the United Nations Security Council, that serious and genuine efforts would be made by those in authority to address the problems which plague those in abusive domestic situations locally in the country, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There is no doubt that with the spotlight now being shone directly on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that these issues will be scrutinized more closely. It is hoped that with SJ's cry for help, she will be helped, and her cry will in turn help others suffering a similar fate to be rescued from the abuse which they suffer. It is hoped too that the agents of the ruling party do not take to the airwaves and denigrate and ridicule SJ for reaching out for help in such a public way. It cannot be forgotten how those agents of the ruling party denigrated and ridiculed Kate on air and revealed all of her personal and private details. And they did so all because Kate dared to tell the world of the rape and domestic abuse that she suffered at the hands of men in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The cry for help about other issues is also coming from others in the country. Luzette King and the front line also cry out for help to address the rape and sexual assault crisis and the domestic abuse problem in the country. They cry out for help for Vincentians to have a healthcare system that works, one that provides basic, affordable medication and supplies for all in the country. They picket the General Hospital on a weekly basis to raise awareness and to highlight the inadequacy and the insufficiency of health care at the hospital. They also cry out for help for many others in many different situations, including Bigger Biggs, Marcus de Freitas, Otto Sam, ex-Commissioner of Police Randolph Toussaint, now deceased, Kenroy Johnson, Elvis Daniel, Addison Dash Thomas, Dougie de Freitas, Daniel Cummings, the lady who was described as indigent and poor in the Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and many more who have suffered and continue to suffer at the hands of the current administration in the country. There are others also who cry out for help on behalf of others in the country. Just recently, advocate and human rights lawyer Zita Barnwell published an article dated 7th of June 2019 entitled "Our Children Need Saving." In that article, she said, and I quote, "Our children are in crisis. They are crying out for help, and we need a rescue team to save them. The survival of our nation as peaceful and hospitable depends on it," unquote. Zita Barnwell there highlighted the assault, Zita Barnwell in the article highlighted the assault and battery, which now appears to be commonplace among children in the schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She ended her article by saying, and I quote, "Our children need our help urgently. Let us help them save themselves." unquote. So there, Zita Barnwell has made the call for us all as Vincentians to help our children. We, on A View from the Outside, reiterate the call that we made earlier. We encourage Vincentians, each and every Vincentian, to listen to the cries for help, especially from those in dire straits, and to reach out and, as much as possible, provide that help. We urge you all to ensure that the vulnerable is protected. Do your best to help those in need. Help them to help themselves. Think about what will happen if you don't help them. Think about what will happen to SJ if she does not get the help which she cries out for. And as you do so, bear in mind the words of Martin Luther King Jr., who said, and I quote, "The first question which the priest and the Levite asked was, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me?" But the Good Samaritan reversed the question, and he asked, if I don't stop to help this man, what will happen to him? Vincentians, listen to those genuine cries for help and stop to help people and stop to provide that help. Until next week, Randy and all of the listeners, this is Brereton Horne with A View from the Outside, with a reminder to send feedback as usual to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. And you can also get us on our Facebook page at A View from the Outside and on our YouTube channel at JMB Horne and on Vibes Caribbean also. Have a pleasant Saturday, a wonderful Sunday, and a productive and helpful week ahead. To you and all the listeners, Randy.